Hi there, guys. My name is Lucy Penman. I just wanted to start with a couple of pictures about me. On the left here is my wedding ring along with my husband's wedding ring. They were actually made in my hometown in Bangor, Northern Ireland. The Claddagh symbol is etched into our rings. It's the heart with the hands on the side, and then there's a crown on top. The heart represents love, the hands represent friendship, and the crown represents loyalty. I thought that would be really cool to include because it's a little part of my culture, and the Claddagh symbol is just so important to Irish people. That's what I wanted to include about my culture. My husband and I are over to the side with all the leaves up here. This was taken in my hometown as well, just when we had got engaged. And this is my husband when he graduated from the APD Police Academy. In his family, there's 3 generations now that have gone into law enforcement. His grandpa was the second ever state trooper, which is pretty cool. And then his dad was with APD for 25 years and retired 2 years ago, and now my husband's just started on. So that's a really big part of his family and his culture. And then this is our little puppy, Remy. His name's actually Rembrandt, from the Dutch painter, because me and my husband both lived in the Netherlands and Belgium for 2.5 years, or 2 years and 18 months. So he is a really cute guy. He is 8 months now and 80 pounds. He's a big guy. So he is half German Shepherd, half Alaskan Malamute, and he's a cute guy. Just as I said, we lived in the Netherlands and Belgium I lived there for 18 months and my husband for 2 years when we served LDS missions. I actually lived in this city. It's called Antwerp in Belgium. And I moved a lot around both these countries and got to learn their language, which is Dutch and Flemish, and a lot about their different culture. And I'm from Northern Ireland, so this is a picture of the North Coast, a Carrick-Garry rope bridge. I've been on this rope bridge and it's a little scary, but really pretty. I moved to Alaska and America 2 years ago when we got married, and Alaska is just so beautiful. I'm an elementary education major. Most of my family, basically all of my family live in Ireland, and they have for thousands of years. So my ancestry just goes back to the same town in Ireland. And my brother lives in Scotland. He attends St. Andrews University there. My husband grew up in Anchorage, and we moved here. We moved back here after the pandemic so that he could start at APD. I believe I'm in my junior year. I just achieved an Associates of Science at BYU, Idaho. And I recently transferred to UAF because I couldn't finish my elementary degree online there, so I had to move up here. But I'm really excited to be able to do a lot of practicums and teaching experience here in Alaska. I love to crochet, knit, and sew. I just made a blanket that was a queen size, so it took a long time. But that excites me and is one of my hobbies. I'm taking this class because I live in Anchorage, and a site that represents me would be probably my Instagram, where I update everyone on life updates and pictures of my dog usually. So yeah. Okay, to the important question at hand, what role, if any, should anthropology play in Native cultures of Alaska? While reading the article, there's a couple things that I already knew and a couple things that I learned. So, what I could glean from it is that a major benefit of anthropological research is the preservation of culture. So, it's really sad to me that so many languages are being lost, so many cultures and things, because elders are passing away, or chiefs or people that only spoke that specific language. In Ireland, we speak Gaelic as our native language, and it's not dying out as fast as some of these other languages, but it definitely is dying out. And it's really sad to see. There used to be villages and areas that only spoke Gaelic, and now there's not really many of those left anymore. So I've seen it in my own culture and how upsetting it is. But on the flip side of that, if the research of these languages is obtained, insensitively, then it can become invasive to these people. There's people behind a language and behind a culture that are often forgotten and need to be valued and respected. And you need to earn the respect of these people. So I think that researchers need to take into consideration their culture and respect it. One thing that I learned, I hadn't really thought about, is that I think that anthropology can play a role in Native culture, but it needs to be respect on both sides. And one way of achieving that is negotiating detailed agreements on both sides, like almost like a contract. And I'd never really thought about this, but in the article it said that it's becoming the norm, which I think is amazing. That it gives the choice and back to Indigenous people, and also lets both sides know where they stand. So if there is a disagreement or something's gone wrong, they can refer back to that initial contract, and then both sides have a voice. I think that's really important, so that both sides can be held accountable in case something does go wrong. So yeah. One other thing I wanted to mention really fast is the Alaska Native Heritage Center is a great resource for those here in Anchorage to go and learn about different cultures. I went here with my family when they were here for the wedding, and it's just amazing to go in and see some skits about life, or rituals, or games, or different things or artifacts that people use to hunt, or many different things. And you can even go to each of the different types of village and see what it used to look like. And what amazes me about the Heritage Center is that it's actual people of these villages coming and explaining things to you, which is keeping their culture alive. So I think it's a really great resource for those who don't know, like me, much about Native people, to go and learn more. And I've put the R's here, but it might be a little bit different. But I would just encourage you to go and have a look at their website if you are here in Anchorage, and book an appointment or book a ticket to go and see and support them. And that's it for my presentation. Thanks, guys.